Alright, so let's go ahead and add new data to our already existing um, raw data and see how it updates when we refresh the data. So back to my raw data. So head back to the raw data and still working with the same movie. Let's see what's the last movie on the data set, the last title. So the last title, if I should zoom in, oops. All right. The last title for yours on your data set, the one you have, should be Woman in Gold. So I'm going to delete this just to show you how I added that particular feature. So deleted. Now, so with that title deleted, we should all be on the same page. And the last title on your data set should be Woman in Gold. That's the last movie. Alright, so what we'll do is we're going to select the entire row and then we'll duplicate it just like that. So we have the same title twice, Woman in Gold. So just to make a difference, I'm going to go ahead and title this one Woman in Gold 2. So this is the one we created just now and say okay to that, save that action. And then we head back to the pivot table. So we'll go back to our sort options and let's select all this time. So click on this just once. It will take a while. So and say okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and refresh all once again. Remember, this time around we are adding new data. We are not updating an already existing data. We are adding new data. So let's look for the title for Woman in Gold. So we are supposed to see Woman in Gold and Woman in Gold 2. So if we search WOMAN, alright, that was long spelling. WOMAN. Right, so this is Woman in Gold, but there is no Woman in Gold 2. And why is that happening? I will explain that to you just now. Right, let's get back to the notes. The reason why that's happening is because when we created the table, we created the table from a range. So that pivot table exists only within that range which we created it. So let's say this is the range. We can only update existing data within this range. If we add some new data here, so let's have this to be new data. This new data is not part of the range that we created our table from. This new data we added, like the one we just included, Woman in Gold, it is out of range. So that's the term to use. It is out of range. Remember, the pivot table was created within a certain range. And now what we just did in our raw data was to throw in a new piece of data. And that new piece of data was out of range. So there will be no update to the pivot table created within a range. So bear in mind that whenever you create a pivot table within a range, you can only update data that is within that range which you've created the pivot table. But if you create the pivot table from table, the purpose of the table is that boosts themselves dynamic grow and at the same time. So a table can grow and shrink like dynamically. The table can add data, table can remove data, and there will be absolutely no problem with your table. So we'll go back to Excel and I'm going to show you how to create a table, a pivot table this time accurately using a table. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how we do that.